Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 10 of What If Naruto Got His Memory Sealed Away. Remember to get this one to 300 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Had Divine Powers. And enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Begin the intro. So, the last time we left off, Naruto got the information that his father's name was Minato as he tried to find out who it was. As he probably know that Jiraiya and the others will take a long while to tell him. So he figured, go to the person that wouldn't have anything involved in this. As he went to Iruka, arrived in the class, Iruka told him to do something before he tell him anything. As the students asked Naruto a lot of questions about being a ninja. Some of them kept on making fun. That just kept on pissing off Naruto. As Iruka finally told him that Minato was the fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze, as it all snapped as Naruto couldn't believe it. The students then kept on making their fun as Naruto snapped his head towards them as he told all of them to get outside now. As the students started to shake badly. And it then started. Sometime later, Tsunade had Naruto bolt down to a chair as she punched him right in his face, knocking the bolts out. As Naruto got up, as she was pissed, he assaulted the entire class of academy students, beating all of them down. As Naruto told her that the envoy should leave and the both of them should talk, she was going to make them leave until Naruto mentioned Minato, as she made them leave. As Naruto couldn't believe that he didn't recognize it as he went towards the picture of Minato. The both of their faces are so similar, but he didn't feel angry or anything about it. He just felt normal. Sometime later, Naruto summoned Gamabunta, as Gamabunta told him that yes, Minato was his summon as well. When he saw him, he was surprised. But he decided to keep his mouth seeing that he didn't know about it, as Naruto could really go for a drink. So, Gamabunta went away as Naruto summoned in 10 minutes later. The next morning, Tsunade was pissed. Because Naruto didn't invite her, he drank 7 bottles of the large Mount Miyaboku sake. As Naruto asked her for his mission scroll, she told him to go down there and get it himself, seeing that she has people that get paid to do that job. And now that he didn't invite her to get another sake, she just run him out of the office. As Naruto simply left, as Izumo, Kotetsu, and Genma, they were bringing Koharu towards the hidden cloud. It was peace-treaty talk. As Naruto created a clone to go back and make sure that these things were off. The clone, seeing Kiba, he had a smile on his face as he went around wreaking havoc all around the village, even pissing off Tsunade as she wanted to kill him even more. Arriving at the Cloud Village, Naruto had already known this place, seeing that Danzo had him study every layout of every land. And Naruto also learned something about Shadow Clones, that you could get the information from Shadow Clones, and he couldn't believe Kakashi knew about this and didn't tell him. As Genma told him that Koharu told him that he didn't want him there, so he has to stay back. As it wasn't up to him, Naruto sighed as he decided to stay back. So Genma told him not to get in any trouble. But Naruto still left the hotel room, as he went to a training field where he heard fighting. As Samui, Amoy, and Karu was there, as they thought that he was a spy, as Naruto kept on telling them that he wasn't any spy, but they wouldn't make him leave as Yujito arrived. Just because he didn't want to cause any international incident, he decided to just go with them, but they weren't going to tie him up and pull him through the streets. He was going to go to the tower and clear all this crap up. As he was passing by Yujito, he heard the Kyuubi spoke. So that's what happened to Nebe. So yeah guys, that was basically that's where we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what do you say we begin this new episode? What do you mean, Nebe? Naruto asks. Have you forgotten what Danzo told you? Oh, kind of, Naruto said. Flashback to a 7-year-old Naruto. So, Danzo Jiji, what do I need to know before I leave, Naruto asked as he was currently sitting in Danzo's office. Danzo was going to send Naruto out on missions. In case shit hit the fan, he needed to know everything. Danzo shook his head. Even after 3 years of training, he still couldn't break that fact about Naruto. Naruto called him Danzo Jiji. But other from that, the boy was incredibly powerful, so he would just mind it for now. As he handed Naruto a folder, opening it, Naruto saw two people. A blonde teenager that was older than him. The second was a heavily muscled man with dark skin. I don't get it, who are they? Am I supposed to kill them, Danzo Jiji? Oh god no, said Danzo. I've invested too much time into you to let you go off and get torn to shreds by them. You're not yet ready for them. At least, not now. Soon enough you'll be able to take down each and every one of them. But right now, consider them your biggest threats. The next place I'm sending you for your next mission, if you are alerted, they will be the one dispatched to kill you. Naruto sighed. Danzo Jiji briefing was so boring. Danzo Jiji, just tell me what I'm gonna be doing, and I'll be back in the compound in a week. Danzo slammed his hand on the table. Damn it boy, listen to me. Naruto cringed, even though it didn't happen much. When Danzo got angry, there was good reason for it. Naruto lowered his head. Sorry Danzo-sama, I'll be silent now. As Danzo didn't say anything, he just looked at Naruto blankly. I'm not doubting your skills, Naruto. After all, I'm positive if you were to fight any one of the students in the academy, or any one of Sarutobi's genins, you'll wipe the floor with them. However, these people are beyond your level. Not only are they the true elites of Kumo, but they share your burden. Naruto's eyes widened. They're Jinchuriki as well? Danzo nodded. Yes. The girl is Yujito, 14-year-old. Jinchuriki, container of the two-tailed Nibe, monster cat. The man is Killer Bee, the Raikage's brother. He is the most dangerous of the two. His brother became the Raikage after the Hyuga incident some years ago, and he is known as the guardian of Kumo. So, you know who are Kumo's Jinchuriki? Do they know who I am? No, my boy, you are a secret, Danzo said. Seeing that people cannot openly talk about the Kyuubi that you house, and you barely go out in the public, other nations have not found out about you. But most of them are vast, more experienced than you, and more capable of using their Bejeweled chakra. So, if you run across these two in the mission, I want you to aboard immediately. This mission is not worth losing one of my prized investments, understood? Naruto nodded. Okay Danzo Jiji, I'll stay away from these two. End of the flashback. So this is that Yujito person. I wonder if I can beat her now if we fought. As Naruto looked her over, she looked very strong and confident in her ability. He wondered if she sensed that he was a Jinchuriki like herself, because a moment ago he sensed her. As he was close, he could tell that her eyes, somewhat familiar like a cat. As she caught him looking at her, he turned his gaze as the tower came into sight. As they enter, Naruto smirked as he saw Izumo and Kitetsu sitting on the couch by the stairs, as he whistled over in their direction to get their attention. The both of them quickly hopped to their feet ready to defend their little buddy. Naruto, what happened? Naruto shook his head. This is one very paranoid place. I found a training field, and I got accused of spying. And it's not like I can kick their ass without starting some kind of incident. Kitetsu was pissed because Naruto got a lot of bullshit back in Konoha. He didn't deserve it here as well. They did anything to hurt you? They were about to tie me up, Naruto said. But if they had pushed the issue with that and forced it, then all bets would be off and we were going to throw down. As he looked around, where's Genma? As he pointed up, Genma is with the elder. He's speaking with the Raikage advisors now. Samui, push Naruto forward so the Raikage is free. We can settle this now. Naruto slapped her hand off of him. Hands off. I'm walking by myself. You're gonna make a complete ass out of yourself, but let's go. With that, they all went up the stairs and stopped in front of the secretary's desk. After a short word with Mabe, they all entered the office. As the Raikage lifted up his head, Yujito, Samui, Amoy, Karu, what are you all doing here surrounding this Konoha ninja? As Karu pushed Naruto forward, as he glared at her, you're so lucky this guy would kill me before I kill you. Otherwise, I would backhand you right here and now. Raikage-sama, said Samui, we found this Konoha ninja overlooking one of our training sessions. Being that we're trained by Killer Bee-sama, we figured that he was trying to steal some of Kumo's hidden techniques, so we escort him here. Naruto snorted. If by escort you mean be dragged through town or fight all of you, then yeah, you escorted me here. The Raikage looked down at Naruto. Despite his incredible size, Naruto didn't look afraid or intimidated. As the Raikage looked at him, I am the 4th Raikage of Kumo. My name is A. What's yours? Naruto looked the man in the eye. Naruto Uzumaki, Chunin of Konoha. Ninja registration number 012607. A raised his hand, stopping Naruto. Enough, Uzumaki-san. What are you doing in my village? Are you conducting espionage under the guise of diplomatic mission? No, Raikage-san, I was bored, so I walked around the village and came across the training field. I tried to leave immediately by the time I recognized where I was, but as I was leaving, your ninjas saw me and accused me of spying. A gave me a stern look. And were you? Well, you see, no. I just got lost on the road of life. Meanwhile, in Konoha, Kakashi looked away from the memorial stone as a smile came on his face. Yes, I finally got one of them. Back in Kumo, Naruto felt a shiver go down his spine. I just made someone really happy just now. As he was thinking, why did he feel that way? As Karu saw that he wasn't listening, she poked him. Hey, listen to Raikage-sama. I don't know how things are done in Konoha, but here, we listen to what Raikage has to say. Hello, Kumo, a voice shouted. As Naruto turned to see the doors burst open. Yo, big bro, Hakusabi-sama is back from his latest mission. A eyebrow twitch. B, I'm happy to hear that, but could you have waited until I've done what I'm doing in here? What? Waiting on the hall is for chumps. You say that I'm less important than one of these lumps? As he turned to his students, hey students of mine, is my big bro giving you guys your daily shine? Yujito sighed and walked forward. They came across as suspicious. Konoha Ninja brought him here. He's standing right there. This guy is worse than when I was sealing Naruto's head. As he had moved out of the way and was standing to the side. As B studied Naruto for a while, he then pushed his fist out. How are you doing, Mr. 9? Naruto blinked, but he slowly raised his hand and tapped his fist on Killer B's. As Samui blinked, Killer B sensei, his name is Naruto Uzumaki, not Mr. 9. Yujito shook her head. He wasn't referring to a simple name. He was referring to the tail beast he has inside of him. Oh, thank you for that, Naruto said, because I really need everyone in the room to have a more suspicious thought of me. Fine, he said as all of them looked at him. Since I'm stuck here, Yujito you know already, and the Hakusabi guy just burst it out. I guess I could tell you. As B was talking rather fast, but Naruto was ignoring him. He then turned back to B. Did you say something? As Naruto felt another shiver went down his spine, like he was making someone happy. You ignored him, said Amoy. As Karu looked at him, no one ever did that before. Oh, it's strange to ignore him, Naruto said. As he started to walk towards the door, seeing that they weren't really paying any mind, they were looking at B. Well, if you want to talk to me, I'll be in the hotel that we were booked to stay in while this entire thing goes on. Goodbye. When Naruto finally made his way back, Genma was there. Did you have fun out there, he asked. Whatever Izumo and Katetsu tell you, I want to say it's 100% not my fault. Genma chuckled. Now you understand why I told you to stay in and don't get in trouble. You're like a magnet for trouble. The stuff you do in 1 year is like something that most ninjas don't do until they're at least 4 to 5 years. Just the sheer amount of troublesome situation you get yourself into could have been stretched out to a normal person for at least 3 years or so. It's no wonder you're strong. If you were weak, you'd have died right after the first incident. I almost got into a fight with 3 Kumo shinobi today who accused me of spying, Naruto says he lied down in his bed. Me, if I wanted to spy, they wouldn't have known about it. As he then turned serious, they know about the Kyuubi. Genma's senbon fell from his mouth. Are you sure? How could they have found out about it? I met both of Kumo's Jinchuriki today. Both of them could sense that I was one as well, and they called me out on it in front of the Raikage. That's not good, said Genma. They might use that in negotiations tomorrow. Naruto gave him a confused look. Who cares if they spread around the time Konoha Jinchuriki? Yes, it's a shame that the secret finally got out, but 13 years is a long time to keep a secret like that from the rest of the world. Tell old man Homura not to worry about it too much. Tell him not to act like it bother Konoha. That the secret is out, because honestly, it doesn't really bother me. Genma gave him an odd look. So you don't really care that your entire generation will find out that you host the Kyuubi? Not even if they turn away from you or hate you for it. Well, the second the news comes out, things will be clearer for a lot of people. Hell, I may just ask in the batch and tell everyone in the village. What do I have to lose? No one my age could actually kill me if they took the news wrong. And the adults already hate me, don't they? You're one ballsy kid, said Genma. So I've been told, Naruto said. The next day, Naruto was sitting on the roof of the hotel meditating, seeing that he wasn't allowed to accompany Homura, and he couldn't actively train. He was meditating to what he called it, which Kyuubi hated, his first side. He wanted to get in touch with his first side. When Naruto got inside, he sighed. Are you serious? He said. I gave you free roam to do whatever you want inside. My mindscape citizens, you can wreak havoc, destroy buildings, blow up anything you feel like, but you're sleeping? The Kyuubi slowly opened his eyes, mortal. As much as it was fun destroying your Konoha mindscape over and over, it rebuilt itself and it kind of take the fun out of it. I mean, as great as it is to wipe out the entire place, seeing the place rebuild itself in 2 hours kind of destroy the site after a while. Naruto's sweat dropped. Fine, the reason I came. How do you think I stack up against Kumoji and Julkis? Well, the female will be a tough match for you, but you could defeat her without activating the Kitsune trigger. She doesn't have enough control over her, Biju, to keep her mind state stable during the fight. It will be far more difficult than when you face off against Shikaku, but you will still win. On the other hand, the Haxabi, the container, he will completely destroy you, no question. He has full access to his Biju chakra and perfect control over it. Even if you activate the Kitsune chakra and went to my limit at tails that you can use, he will still tear you apart. So do not fight him, ever. Naruto grumbled, I still can't win. I gotta be the worst Jinchuriki in the elemental nations. I might as well be a regular person for all the good that your chakra does for me. This guy has full control and all I can handle right now is 3-tail war without going fully blood loss. Naruto had tried to push himself to his absolute limit before leaving on this mission. He cleared it with Tsunade first and went deep inside the forest of death in case things went too tense. Good thing he did too, because he went 4 tails and lost his mind as he slaughtered every animal in his way, carving a path of pure destruction. He didn't remember how he settled down, but he did smell the presence of one of Tsunade Anfu after he woke up. The Kyuubi took in a breath and then snorted, blowing Naruto back. You are far from a weak container, kid. The other Jinchurikis has natural advantage over you due to the amount of time they have with your demons. You are 13 years old. You have been trying to learn my chakra since you were 5, and you stopped when you were 8, seeing that you lost your memories. To get this point already, with just a little amount of time, that is a feat that most Jinchuriki has not completed yet. Naruto simply nodded. So anything you need while I'm here, anything you want me to tweak about my mindscape. Other than telling you to release your memories so I can watch your old missions. Nah, get out of here. You know it's my mind, right? The fox simply grumbled at him as Naruto vanished. Naruto snapped his eyes open as he grabbed the hand that was reaching for his face. Don't do that. As he looked to see the team from yesterday surrounding him and the red-haired girl trying to touch his face. So what is it now? Is meditation against the law as well? As Kaoru pulled her hand away from him, why did Killer Bee Sensei told us come and find this guy and talk to him? He doesn't even seem special at all. Didn't you hear yesterday? Said Amoy. Killer Bee Sensei and Yujito said that he has a demon inside of him, like they do. I'm really glad that we didn't push things farther yesterday or we might be in the hospital right now. As Naruto was just about to get up and walked away, when Samui spoke, we would like to spar with you, Naruto-san. Oh, so you remember my name from yesterday, do you? He asked a smirk. I did want to push myself and get some training. Fine, I'll fight you. But we have to go somewhere so there won't be any damage to your village. As they all nodded as they went through the gate, it was surprising, seeing that they could just walk out of here. In Konoha, he would have needed permission to leave, as they headed to one of the mountain terrains. Hey, why can't you guys just leave whenever you want? If it was me, I would have 100 ninjas on my ass before I even reach the next town. That may be because I'm a Jinchuriki though. We were trained by Killer Bee Sensei, said Amoy. He doesn't live in the village. He got sick of coming to get us. So he gave us permission so we can leave whenever we want to go and find him and get training. Naruto nodded. So where are we going anyway? We're almost there. We're heading to where Killer Bee lives and train. The Valley of the Cloud and Lightning. Amoy said as he pointed down as he reached the summit of another mountain. It was a very tall place, a series of peaks of water coming out of a very tall valley. As they all went down there. This is a nice place, Naruto said. So he said, how are we doing this? Are you all coming at me? the same time or one-on-one. They looked at each other. As Samui gave him a strange look. Do you really believe you can take us all at once? No, Naruto says. He slipped into a tight stance. I just said that because I'm a masochist. And getting my ass beat is how I get myself off. Of course I think I can. And just because you waste my time, I'm not gonna give you the option. Come at me, all of you, he said. Give it your best shot. As they stood there looking at him. If you don't come to me, I'll come to you. And trust me, that's the last thing you want. Karu growled. Who do you think you are? What makes you think you're so goddamn better than us? That Konoha is the strongest hidden village. That bullshit. Oh, that's not it at all, Naruto said. I don't think I'm better than you. I just want a serious challenge. What do you mean, Samui asks? One-on-one is enough of battle for you, isn't it? I am sick of one-on-one fights, Naruto said. I haven't had a good challenge with the odds were against me in years. So, you guys look like a good team. This is a perfectly good time to see whether I have the stuff that I used to have back in the day. But that's a story for another time. What do you mean? What do you used to be made of, Amoy asks. You're just a chunin and younger than us. How many situations could you have had that pitted you against multiple shinobis? There are some things better left locked off, Naruto said. But put it this way, I have a minimum of 9 S-rank shinobis coming after me, and they all come in pairs. I need to get used to fighting a bunch of people at once, and this is the best place to start, so bring it on already. After a second none of them attacked, Naruto reached into his pouch as they all went on guard, as he threw a smoke bomb to the ground. They're all gonna make this too easy. Shurikens dashed from the smoke as they all had to dodge. 3 Narutos then came from the smoke as fighting off each of the team members. Amoy drew his katana and started clash blade one of the clones. He can make solid clones. Which one is the real him, Amoy said, as he took a devastating hit to the face when Naruto freed one of his hands. As Amoy rubbed his face, I really hope this is the real one, because if this is one of his clones. Meanwhile, Karu was attacking instead of defending, as she engaged her Naruto in Kenjutsu, as she was amazed at how fast he was. He was only using his sword to defend and was simply hitting her. When she was open, she couldn't get a single mark on him so far, and that was pissing her off. As she glanced over, Amoy, how are you doing against yours? He made a mistake by looking over as a feet connected with his stomach. He coughed up some saliva. Just great, can't you see? I'm getting my ass kicked all over the valley, he said. Karu dodged one of the clone's punches as he swung her sword right at his hand, intending to cut it off, but he jumped away. Samui, how about you? Samui did not answer as she was currently engaged in a deadly dance with the Naruto that she was fighting. As Samui's sword was so short, as Naruto draw dual kunais instead of drawing his own blade. She was amazed at how strong he was. He was extremely far stronger than her. It took all for her strength to hold herself when the both of them clashed. And when she blocked one of his attacks that he used both his arms for, it made her entire body vibrate. But his size put that off a lot, seeing that he was shorter than her. And his muscles didn't look like they have actual power until he actually fight. He was amazing. She couldn't block one of his kicks as a kick landed right in her ribs. She was sent sailing away. Her trajectory ended up sending her right into Karu, as Amoy jumped away from his Naruto as he went over, helping up his teammates. Karu coughed up a little blood as she stood up. Okay, he can really fight all of us at the same time and do pretty well. And he can use solid clones and I can't tell which one is the real one. And I can't even hit one of them to find out. Until we can destroy one, we're at a disadvantage, said Samui. One of us should try to keep the attention of 2 while the rest of us double team the other. After we defeat the other one, we can rush the other member and turn this into a 3-on-2 fight. Right then, said Karu. I'll be distraction. You guys just hurry up and defeat her quick, before this guy kicked my ass. With that, she ran at them with a battle cry. She separated him in one swing, sending 2 off in one direction and another one to himself. As the last clone landed, lightning release. Wings of steel, said Samui, as she swung her sword and sent out a wave of electricity. Her jutsu caused a rock slide that intended to crush Naruto. He was forced to jump off the platform as he landed in the water, as chunks of rock fly everywhere. However, dodging the rocks allowed Amoy to get in close as he sliced Naruto, as Naruto then poofed into smoke. As Amoy popped a sucker in his mouth. That was a clone, the real one is with Karu. We need to get over there. When they got back over there, they saw that she had gotten rid of one clone. She was fighting the remaining Naruto, and she was taking a beating. He had long sheathed his blade since she had lost hers, as her blade was sticking out of the ground somewhere. She was trying to match blows with him, but he was just too strong. No mercy just because he was a girl, he was delivering brutal punches. Samui quickly went to retrieve Karu's sword, while Amoy went to bail her out of trouble. A slash from Amoy, making her jump away. Karu, you okay? Amoy asks. She gave him a weak smile. I killed one of the bastards, but I think that just pissed him off. As Samui arrived and handed Karu her katana back. Thanks, I needed this. This is weird. He isn't even using his demon chakra and he's beating the hell out of us. He only used it in a spar, right? He shouldn't. But it shouldn't matter. Killer Bee Sama's use is Hakubi chakra against us. And he's far more powerful than Naruto. As Naruto must have heard him as he dashed forward, Samui had to quickly block the strike that sent her skidding back a bit. Amoy and Karu came down with their blades as Naruto blocked it with 2 kunais. Amoy then heard a hissing sound. No one is that insane, right? As Naruto had a grin on his face, on his shirt there was an explosive note, burn almost all the way through. Boom, Naruto said, as a massive explosion went off. The group managed to get out of there just in time, but they had scorch marks on their clothing. He blew himself up, Karu said. This guy's crazy, Amoy said. Even if that was some kind of trick, he could have blown himself up, the explosion was real. Samui kept her eyes wide open. There was no way it was over. Who blew themselves up in a spar anyway? No, it wasn't over. Not for a long shot. Chuckles could be heard all over the valley. Congratulations, you beat my team of shadow clones. Panting came from them as they started spinning around trying to find out where he was. They were just beaten down by mere shadow clones, not the real one mixed within them. They all went back to back trying to find but they couldn't. Come out, you cowards, said Karu. Now why would I want to do a thing like that? It's 3-on-1 after all. Who attacked head on when it's 3-on-1? Besides, the ninjas dropped the attack from the shadows. While I love a good fight every now and then, I love it when my opponents never see me coming. It means I'm actually doing my job the right way. The valley went silent. A killing intent then washed over them. Not enough to make them choke on, but they were seriously starting to panic. If they couldn't find they would peer dearly, they could see it. Earth Release, inner decapitation skill. Naruto's hands burst on the ground as Samui jumped away, but he latched on to Amoy and Karu as he pulled them underground, just leaving their heads above. As Samui quickly rushed over, but Naruto then burst out of the ground right in front of her. Amoy wiggled trying to get free. When did you place yourself on the ground? I set that up the moment I threw down the smoke bomb, Naruto said. I know that you would take the center after defeating my clones. As he kneeled down and patted Karu on the head, she tried to beat him but he pulled his hand back. I should really give myself a pat on the back. I've never been here before but I use the terrain to give me an advantage. Karu smirked at him. We're not done. Lightning release. Body of the electric flow. The ground around her loosened up as she and Amoy burst out as they attacked Naruto, not even using their blades. Amoy went low with a sliding kick while Karu ran at Naruto high. Lyra, she says. She lashed out at him with her arm. Naruto ducked low as he smashed his forehead right at Amoy's. As the two then rolled off and came low, as Naruto grabbed and pinned Amoy down to the ground. Amoy pushed himself up while Naruto delivered a devastating kick to the back of his head as Amoy went limp as he collapsed unconscious. One down, said Naruto. Karu quickly went over to where his sword was, but before she could receive it, a kick slammed into her back, knocking her straight on her face. Before he could do anything, Samui was upon him as she sliced at him, getting his shirt. Damn it. I'm fighting more than one opponent, Naruto said. As she kept it up, not giving him a chance to recover or use his kunais or anything, she was going brutal on him. He grimaced as Shuriken stabbed right into his back. That distraction as she sliced him across the chest. As Naruto jumped away looking at the two girls. Damn, I like this shirt. Why does my shirt always get sliced when I fight people with sword or sharp weapons? As he saw Karu going for a blade, he created several clones as they threw kunais and shurikens towards Samui and Karu, causing both of them to dodge. As Karu rolled over and grabbed her blade as she smirked, but she then saw a sadistic smirk on Naruto's face. As Naruto speed through hand sign, lightning release. Electric field, he said. Karu tried to move but she yelled as bolt of electricity shot through her body when she touched a barrier. She looked up to see Samui as Naruto clones were holding her off while Naruto was holding up the jutsu. As Naruto whistled towards her to get her attention, I can make this jutsu much nastier with 5 hand signs. You should give it now before I do it. This checkmate for you. As she looked at him and looked at the situation she was in. Fine, I give, she said. As Naruto dropped the jutsu as she went over to Amoy, as he turned his sights on Samui. I could ask you to surrender now but I won't. You know by now not to hold back on me, so let's skip that part, shall we? Let's get straight to it, he said. Lightning release. Lightning ball, said Samui. As she launched an electric orb at Naruto went through hand sign. Wind release. Wind repel wall, he said, as a burst of wind came out of his body, as it blew away her jutsu, as Naruto dashed towards her. As she saw him coming at her with a speed, she clenched her blade. When she saw that he was close enough, she swung it. But Naruto stopped himself with wind chakra just in time, as he smirked, as she left herself wide open. We're done, Naruto said. Wind release. Divine Fist of the Wind God. As the wind fist smashed into her stomach, that sent her sailing away. She smashed right into one of the large walls, her body imprinted on it. As she winced out in pain, she tried to move, but a kunai stopped her at her throat. She looked up at those cold blue eyes. Fine, I give, she said. You win. As Naruto smiled and helped her out of the wall, as Karu and Amoy came over. Damn, we barely even touched a real you. How did you manage to beat us like that, Karu asked. Well, when I was little I was trained for assassination specialist and heavy combat. This is the thing I'm most good at. I didn't really use most of my high in tail jutsu because they're really dangerous and they kill. Amoy looked at Naruto with a goofy grin. I couldn't even come up with a strategy to use fast enough against you. We really need to work, don't we? Said Samui. You beat us so easily. Well, if it was a real fight instead of a spar, you all would have attacked me when the fight just began. And that would have made the outcome a bit different. I'm not saying that you would have won, but they still helped me out. From experience, S-rank ninjas are really arrogant, even to other S-rank ninjas, and they would have probably done what you done. Whoa, Mr. 9, I have to say, that battle of yours sure made my day. Naruto twitched as he heard that voice. I knew he was watching us the entire time. Why is he here, Naruto asked Samui. Amoy already told you, Killer Bee Sensei live here. It's not that hard to see that he watched a fight. His home is right there. As Naruto looked up to the house that was on the peak, as Killer Bee flashed beside Naruto in a Shanshin. As he slapped Naruto on the shoulder, I had to pinch myself like some kind of dream. I thought there was no way you could beat my team. Please, stop rhyming, Naruto said. Killer Bee grinned the entire time, ignoring him. No can do, Mr. 9. The Killer Bee rhyme all the time. Now that you all saw how this kid came to play, what did you all learn today, he asked. Well, don't judge a book by its cover, said Amoy. We all thought that just because he was younger, he was weaker than us. We didn't even care that he was a Jinchuriki, just find out that he was a kid and we thought we were better. I'm not strong because I'm a Jinchuriki, no. I'm strong because I almost killed myself in training. I'm not even that good at using my Bichu's chakra. That was all me just now. The Kyuubi always said that he will never tolerate a weak container. He then looked up at B. The Kyuubi also told me to stay away from you because you would smash me in a fight. You have control over yours. I can only handle 3. Tails of my Bichu without going insane. Naruto sighed. Why did I say that out loud? Killer Bee grinned. To admit that, kid, your balls ears must made of brass. To admit that I can kick your ass. You know you have at least 30 years of experience with yours, right? You may have control of the Haxabi, but I make up for that in my own way. I try to do as much fighting as I can without relying on anything from the Kyuubi. I only bring my real skills out when I have no other choice. Most of the other Jinchurikis just use their Bichu's power to annihilate anyone in their way, without training yourself properly. The sad Jinchurikis like that, I beat him without even tapping that much of the Kyuubi's chakra. And there was other disadvantage, which I'm not going to get into. As Karu looked at him strangely, beating a Jinchuriki is no joke, even for another Jinchuriki. This kid did it without even using his demon to match a power. They all heard that the sad Jinchuriki was repelled, but looking at the kid that claimed to do it, she saw how far he was out of their league. How are you still a Chunin? With power like that, you should be a Jonin like Killer Bee or Yujito. That's what I've been saying for months, Naruto said. But snap the batch and think that I must slow down and smell the flowers first. Hopefully I can get some serious mission for her to be convinced to promote me. Samui gave Naruto a small bow. Thank you for sparring your team, Uzumaki-san. You show us how much farther we need to go. As Naruto looked away as the urge steered on her shirt, when she was bowing, it was nagging at the back of his mind. You don't need to bow to me. And you can just call me Naruto. Honorifics kind of pissed me off. She rose her head. Whatever you say, Naruto-san. Naruto's sweat dropped. It's a guess, I suppose. So, are we going back to Kumo now? My squad leaders are gonna be pissed when he can't find me. As Naruto turned toward the direction I headed off. I'm confused. Why didn't you fight him? Said Samui, as she looked at Killer Bee. Well, the kid already stated, but he was cut off as Yujito appeared. A fight between two different Jinchurikis should not be done outside the battlefield. Even this is pushing it. Jinjulkis are only not weapons, they're political tools. And with the Konoha delegate in town, a fight between us and Naruto would end badly for the situation right now, regardless of the outcome. Yujito-chan said Killer B, watching Mr. 9 fight too, you know he could see you, right? He could see you too, but I was never hiding, I just want to see him fight. I was following since the others picked him up in town. As she smirked, he's very good, I must say that. I believe he could have even go around with me and you, even after he fought them. He fought in a way where he didn't have to use much chakra. He didn't even use any of his Bijou chakra. Killer B grinned, look like you taking a shine to Mr. 9, if that look on your face is any sign. I just say he's strong, he's younger than me. I could never be into a kid like that. I don't know, kitten, 5 years isn't much of an age difference, isn't it? Shut up, Nibby. He's just a kid that could kill 3/5 of the people standing here, but he's just a kid. As Nibby chuckled, whatever you say, kitten. Acting like his fight didn't turn you on a bit. Yujito blushed and turned away before anyone could see it, but Samui did. As she narrowed her eyes, in Konoha, Sakura hands were glowing green, as they were over a fish. As she was surprised, Team 7 was almost disbanded. Well, when you look at it, it was. Seeing that Naruto was no longer in the team and Sasuke leaving the village. But she heard that she was going to be trained under Tsunade-sama. She got a pick-me-up, and she was happy. A small smile came on her face. It was Naruto who recommended her for this, as she was happy. Hey Pinky, Sakura looked over to see the sound kunoichi that was captured by Naruto. Teiwaya her name was. What do you want, Sakura asked. This girl was under the protection of Tsunade because of the amount of information she handed out after getting captured. And Tsunade also told her that no one could harm her because Naruto would break his foot off in their ass. As Sakura knew that he would probably do that to her as well. Well, he hasn't even called her Sakura-chan since the invasion. However, she blamed this girl for making Sasuke leave as well. She was a part of that team. But even though she wasn't so sure that she could beat this girl, she treated her coldly, but Teiwaya didn't seem to care. As Teiwaya shrugged off her tone, Tsunade sent me to tell you to rest now. It's time for you to knock off for the day. Sakura frowned. Why do you call me Pink and yet call Tsunade-sama by her name? Well, I may be vulgar and everything, but I know pretty well not to piss off people that can kill me. And I know for a fact Tsunade can. The only reason I don't call Shithead by his real name is because he allowed me to get away with it. As Sakura saw it drop, hearing Naruto's name that she called him, well, called him a baka for all those years and wailing on him every chance she get. As she wondered, with this new attitude of his, if he had that back then, would he kill her? Meanwhile, with Team Guy Sensei, can we go home now? We have things to do in the village, said Tenten. My dear student Tenten, our flames of youth will light the darkness. You don't have to worry about that. I am merely instructing Lee here how to defeat his eternal rival. Neji rolled his eyes. I understand that you want to beat me, but do I have to be here to witness it? Oh, I am sorry, Neji. Despite my desire to overcome you in battle, you are no longer my rival. As a small smirk came on Neji's face. Really? So who's your rival then now? Do I know him? Lee's eyes burned with fire. Naruto-kun, the way he defeated all of you. I didn't get my chance to fight him because I was still injured. But I will prove to him myself that I am the strongest one. I will overcome him in battle. As Neji simply nodded, but on the inside he was dancing in joy. Thank you, Naruto, you have already freed me from one burden. The one that would follow me beyond death, unlike my seal. Now, I have no doubt about your ability to change the Hyuga clan in due time. Lee, just don't bug him too much, said Tenten. I don't want Naruto-kun accidentally killing you. Neji was about to call her out and call him Naruto-kun, but Lee burst out about his flame of youth, as he didn't get a chance. Back in Kumo, it was now nightfall. As Genma looked at Naruto, kid, you seriously need to tell us when you're going to go somewhere. We almost have a mini freak out when you couldn't find you. As Naruto knew that he deserved this, well, he did actually leave the village. When he went to go spar with Team Samui. As Naruto sat through Genma, giving him a lecture. As Genma knew that it wasn't kid's fault, but he has to do things to prepare and tell them information about where he's going and all that. They're in a foreign country after all. Genma sit down and sigh. Kid, you're just like a massive headache. This whole thing was supposed to be a giant vacation, but now I'm playing mother to you. Naruto rolled his eyes. Sorry for being difficult, Genma. I suppose you'd rather me being a cookie cute ninja, or a cannon fodder, or a loudmouth punk with no skills. I don't know, said Genma. You seem to have a lot of mouth to me. Well, I never said I didn't, but the comparison was more mouth than skill. I'm sure when I talk I can back it up. Moments later, as Team Samui was going home, as he has just came from the hospital. A few broken ribs and a few scratches here and there, but nothing too dangerous. I mean, he was incredibly strong. The three of us couldn't even take him, said Karu. Well, I know what you mean, said Amoy, but he did told us to take him seriously. But he's still not stronger than Kilabi Sensei though, said Amoy. Do you think he can put up a fight against Yujito? I don't know, said Samui, but he's pretty cool though. As Karu's jaw went low. Samui, he's 2 years younger than us. He's not even from this country. He's from Konoha. How can you think that about him? I can think what I want about him. Who cares how old he is? That kind of thinking is what got us so beaten so badly in the first place, remember? As they arrive at her house, I wonder if he's good at giving massages. She's not serious, right, said Karu. She's joking, is she? As Amoy simply patted her on the shoulder as they walked off. Nearby, a middle-aged man with black hair. He was wearing a Kumo headband. As he overheard their conversation, as he clenched his fists tight. Several hours later, Keita Marishio, he had to watch his Kumo backed off from the fight with Konoha all those years ago, after the Hyuga incident, and he was angry because it was his older brother that was sent over to go through the plan. Keita had accompanied him, as he was promised that it was going to be a cakewalk, as he didn't have to kidnap or fight a full-grown Hyuga. All he had to do was bring back one of the little girls. Too bad for him, little girl he took was the daughter of the clan head, and the daughter of the clan head came looking for him, and his brother was killed. When the talks went on, and Kumo sent for Hayashi Hyuga to be executed because they claimed that they weren't behind this, he thought that his brother got revenge in death because they had taken down the leader of the Hyuga clan, but it was just his brother, his twin brother. As Keita was pissed, he held his grudge for all those years. Now find out that Konoha Jinjuku was here, he have to take his revenge and cripple that village. It was easy to find out which hotel housed them, as everyone knew they were there by now. Picking the lock was child's play, as he entered the room to see only one person there. In the moonlight he saw the small blonde boy. The whiskers on his face, he pulled a kunai as he moved forward. As he moved the kunai towards the boy's neck, Keita was shocked when the hand grabbed out and grabbed his hand in an iron grip. Yeah, don't do something like that, Naruto said as he slowly opened his eyes. Hello, assassin. Not what you expect, am I? He tried to pull his kunai away. As he tried to stall, how did you know that I was here? Well, you tripped my wire, Naruto said, as he broke the man's wrist, forcing him to drop the kunai. As he motioned to a wire wrapped around his finger and set it by the window and the doorway. Now let's kill you and be done with it, shall we? He pulled his fist back, but he was too slow, as Naruto's feet connected into his face, as he smashed into the wall. You're so screwed, Naruto said. I'm telling, as he jumped through the window. As the man growled and gave chase, that little bastard made it towards the Raikage's office. He's screwed. It wouldn't matter if his brother was so highly ranked before his death, as the current Raikage was against the entire plan back in the day of kidnapping the Hyuga. It was his father, not him. As Naruto already lost him, he decided to head straight towards the tower in a different route to cut the boy off. When he reached, a smile came on his face. The alarm would have been sounded if he had reached before him. As a smile came on his face, he looked around. As Naruto landed, looks like you're not that fast, boy. I guess not, huh? Well, it doesn't matter how fast I go anyway. Oh really, said Keita. Well then, I guess we talk like that. You don't mind if I kill you? As he gripped another kunai in his hand. Well, I don't care if you try to kill me because I'm just a decoy. Say cheese. As he burst into smoke. But guys, be end episode right here. If you want the next part of this, or know what to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in social media platform, and stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.